Will the Eagles catch your Cowboys?
Hell yes, they're going to catch the Cowboys. First of all, they only half game out. Secondly, payback's coming when Dallas rolls into Philadelphia. I believe that's going to be on December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas. It works for me because that's going to mess up the Dallas Cowboy fans' Christmas holidays, and we all know.
I love Stephen A. Man.
That's special
Well,
to me.
yours might be messed up if LeBron doesn't show up.
That would be true. That would be true. If he doesn't show up against Kawhi Leonard on Christmas Day, I'm going to lose it.
And we're going to be here that day. We got a 2-hour pre-show. So.
No, y'all are going to be here.
You're going to be here.
I will be in L.A. for the game. I will be there. I will be there.
Well, you'll be on television.
I will be on television, but I'll be at that game Christmas Day, Lord willing. Here's the deal. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm just looking at their schedule right now. I'm done with Chicago because of Trubisky and Nagy, by the way, with their damn field goal problems. Pinheiro, don't get me started with him, all right? Okay, we got New England, okay, Seattle, Miami, 2 games against the New York Giants and a game against the Redskins, okay? That's what you got to look at when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what their schedule is looking like right now. Let's just go to Dallas. You got the Giants, sure. You got Minnesota, Detroit, New England, Buffalo, Chicago, the Rams, and the Eagles before you got the Redskins. I think the Cowboys' schedule is a bit tougher. I think that there are at least 2 losses in that equation, one of them being to the Eagles. As a result, I think that the Eagles could definitely catch them because of that. I've got questions, major concerns about the Eagles' secondary, no question about it. But to me, Carson Wentz and those boys, every time their back's against the wall, Thursday night against Green Bay, yesterday, obviously at Buffalo, both road games, they responded. Okay, so I look at them amping up the pressure on the Dallas Cowboys, putting themselves in a position to take the division, and I think that they're going to catch the Cowboys.
When I look, I don't know the answer to this question.
None of us do. We just tell you what we think.
Yes for the Eagles, that'll catch them. I guess the Cowboys, in terms of frontline talent, I feel like not all 53, right, but like the 22, I think might be the best team in football. When you just look at their starters, so they have an advantage there. I agree with you about the schedule. What I like about the Eagles is that they showed, I don't think it's just because of the weather, that when they were run reliant and they went away from Carson Wentz a bit. And even if the weather factors into that, I think even when you take that out, look, Jordan Howard is not an elite back, but I think he's the next thing to it. And this Sanders kid that everyone was raving about preseason and everything, too much dancing, too much east-west, even the big run that he sprung, really was Jordan Howard acting as a fullback with the block, right? Like, they figured out some stuff in the run game that I like. Here's my problem with Wentz. And I'll give him a B- because he showed he has his legs, too, which he hasn't shown as much recently. I give him a B- because he was making some throws, but guys, for the Eagles to really be successful ultimately, he must be a franchise quarterback. I want to see him make some franchise quarterback throws. Even when he hit Alshon, I think it was, he didn't lead him. I have not seen...
He couldn't lead him. The safety's over the top.
I saw Carson Wentz make throws that you were like, whoa, not everyone can do that a couple of years ago. I can't even say I've seen one recently from him. So the good news is they figured out a formula, I think, that'll keep them afloat and keep them in the hunt. And then the better news is if Carson Wentz can get that mojo back that he had from before the injury, when through 13 weeks he was the MVP of the season, of the NFL, then I think the sky's the limit for them. But, Dan, I got to see that from Carson Wentz. I have not seen that from him.
Well, we saw a different version of Carson Wentz yesterday, you and I then. I think they catch the Cowboys, yes. A couple reasons why. I'm going to start with the general manager. The general manager is too smart to sit there with this football team and not make a move. He knows that the deadline is coming. He knows he needs secondary help. Howie Roseman will make a move for a corner.
Secondary got healthy and looked better.
It looked better, but they need a better corner to go and be the team that they should be. Number 2, Deshaun Jackson's going to come back at some point. Right now, this offense, to your Carson Wentz point, it's a dink and dunk offense, but they don't have a dink and dunk quarterback. Carson Wentz is a big play quarterback. Once Deshaun comes back and is healthy, then the explosive pass plays are going to come. This is a team that is staying afloat without one of their most important weapons in the pass game.
Team speed has been hurting.
Yes, to your point, Max, yesterday, one of the great things when you're a football team that happens is when you can win football games and find out who you are. In the last 2 weeks, we found out who the Eagles are offensively. They're a run-the-football team. I would say Miles Sanders had a great game yesterday running the football, and he has become a focal point of their offense.
65 yards.
The 65-yard touchdown was a huge run.
Yeah, with Jordan when they had two backs.
I watched yesterday, and what I watched Carson Wentz was, I'd say yesterday's game was the biggest win for Carson Wentz as the Eagles starting quarterback. Coming off of the past 2 weeks, coming off of the Aguilar moment on the bomb, coming off of the anonymous source or quotes and statements this week is the biggest win for him to go on the road. And I want to take people to the fourth quarter because it's the fourth quarter. It's a one-possession game. It's 3rd and 10, and they call a wide receiver screen. He catches the snap, goes to throw the wide receiver screen, and the defender's right there. And in the moment like that, he makes the decision, tuck. He goes and runs and gets a first down. The next 3rd down, he's got to make a play where they call another screen. It's not there. Tuck. Go get a first down. The next 3rd down on that drive, he throws a beautiful ball to Ertz to get him down to the 1-yard line. I saw a quarterback in the midst where they needed him the most, on the road, in a must-win football game, on 3rd down, rise up. And I think Carson Wentz is about to take off.
Right, but I haven't seen him take off yet.
A couple of things. As y'all both know, I rode in Philadelphia for 17 years, so I still got a lot of contacts there. I'm hearing a few things about Deshaun Jackson. And I don't want to go out of my way and report it because I don't know it definitively. But there are some concerns that injury was more serious than not only they led us all to believe, that even Deshaun Jackson may have been led to believe at that particular moment in time. I haven't been able to speak to him, but I'm hearing stuff along the lines that this injury, it should have been resolved by now. But this notion that it's supposed to be resolved and he was fine, no. He's hurting a lot more than anybody has given that indication. That's number one.
Of course, or he'd be on the field.
But I'm just saying, the point is they gave the impression that it's more serious than they led everybody to believe.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.